Retail IV and wellness clinics are rapidly expanding across commercial shopping centers. Looking at the service menu for a clinic like Prime IV Hydration provides a perfect proxy for understanding exactly what this industry is selling. The core biological mechanic driving these clinics is direct delivery. By entirely bypassing the human digestive system, these treatments place fluids and nutrients directly into the bloodstream, achieving 100% absorption. And we call this the bioavailability tax. It is the reality that consumers are willing to pay premium out-of-pocket prices and sacrifice their personal time specifically to gain the efficiency of direct intravenous delivery. This matrix shows the stark contrast in consumer commitment. On the left, traditional oral supplements require pennies and a few seconds of your morning. On the right, modern IV clinic menus demand tens or hundreds of dollars and up to 90 minutes of your afternoon. The premise is not to debate whether tap water and dairy vitamins are cheaper. They are. We are looking at how to optimize a dense clinic menu for consumers who have already decided to allocate capital toward premium wellness protocols. The immediate challenge for any consumer walking into one of these clinics is the menu itself. You are handed a dense, medically styled list tiered by time, price, and biological targets. The spectrum of commitment is massive, from a swift vitamin injection, an hour-long introductory drip, or 90-minute specialized cellular protocols. Most typical consumers lack the clinical background required to accurately map their physical deficits to these wildly different service tiers. They know they feel fatigued, but they do not automatically know whether that requires a fast intramuscular push or a comprehensive liquid flush. Without a strategic framework to guide that decision, choosing blindly leads to two highly probable outcomes. You will either significantly overspend your money or waste hours of your calendar time on a mismatched biological goal. This chart is our framework. The vertical axis represents biological impact. The horizontal axis represents financial and time effort. Bottom left, we plot oral supplements, where effort and delivery are low. Mid-chart, we plot consultations and first-time intro offers. The required inputs for this entry tier, you will spend between $25 and $85. And you need to block out roughly 60 to 90 minutes of your day. In exchange for those inputs, your outcome includes a guided medical assessment of your health history, a controlled hydration flush, and time using clinic amenities like massage chairs to help you unwind. This tier strictly minimizes financial risk for a skeptical beginner who wants a safe, monitored introduction. However, it is a highly inefficient use of time for wellness veterans who already know their biological baseline and simply want their nutrients without the hand-holding. This brings us to the time-poor optimizer. This is a consumer who actively needs a biological boost to get through a demanding week, but flatly refuses to sacrifice half of a workday to get it. Looking at our chart, the menu's specific answer to this bottleneck is injection therapy, sitting cleanly in the top left quadrant. The inputs here bypass the lengthy IV bag setup entirely. Instead, the consumer sits for a rapid appointment, receiving a swift intramuscular or intravenous push of specific vitamins to seamlessly continue their day. The major biological trade-off of this speed is volume. By skipping the IV bag, you completely forfeit systemic hydration and the broad-spectrum liquid flush that clears out your system. Ultimately, injection therapy functions as a strategic rescue maneuver. You are trading away full-body hydration to maintain strict efficiency over your daily calendar. At the very top of the menu, we find the Longevity Biohackers tier. This is a level of commitment dedicated entirely to systemic cellular repair rather than casual hydration. The primary target here is often NAD+. NAD+ is a critical coenzyme found in every cell that regulates mitochondrial function, metabolism, and DNA repair. As we age, our natural production of it declines, physically slowing down those vital cellular functions. Looking at the chart, we plot NAD+ and specialty IVs in the extreme top right corner, representing the maximum possible intervention. The required inputs are severe. You are paying the absolute highest premium prices on the menu, and you are enduring rigid scheduling constraints that will physically tether you to an IV bag for well over an hour per session. The objective of this tier is to directly replenish declining cellular components. It is designed to optimize baseline human performance, moving past quick fixes for acute symptoms like a hangover or a rough night of sleep. While this tier offers the highest possible ceiling for preventative wellness, it demands an aggressive, unforgiving budget of both your logistics and your finances. Evaluating menu items in a vacuum only gets you so far.
To make this actionable, we can map these options into a strict decision tree based entirely on your primary personal constraint. For the time-poor professional, your bottleneck is the clock. You must ignore the VIP drips and long consultations, branching left to utilize rapid injection therapy. If you are a skeptical beginner or actively suffering from an acute issue like a flu, your constraint is risk. You branch to the center, leveraging lower price points like intro offers to safely test your bodily response to the fluids. If your focus is strict optimization and anti-aging, your constraint is biological capability. You branch right to NAD+ consults, fully accepting the massive capital and time trade-off required for cellular repair. The modern IV clinic menu is not a ladder that you are forced to climb from bottom to top. It is a highly specialized tool belt. You select your tool based entirely on the immediate physiological and logistical constraints of your week. To keep this strictly analytical, we also have to define exactly who should reject the IV clinic ecosystem entirely. If you're seeking a singular, permanent fix for deep-seated chronic fatigue, an IV bag is the wrong tool. It is a biological maintenance protocol, not a one-time cure. If you are operating on a strict budget where an $85 out-of-pocket expense generates active financial stress, this menu is not for you. And if you are simply too restless to remain seated in a chair, tethered to a fluid bag for up to 90 minutes, the physical realities of the clinic will be agonizing. For these specific profiles, paying the bioavailability tax is a mathematically poor trade. High-quality, traditional oral supplementation remains the superior and most logical strategy.